What's going on, YouTube, man? It's your boy McLavishh. Peace, prosperity, and power, mind, body, and soul. Death before dishonor. Speaking the truth, keeping the faith, and holding it the fuck down. Hey, I'm glad to be back. Welcome back to another episode of Mental Modifications and Frequency Elevations, man. And this time we're doing something a little different. We're going to be reacting to cyberstars dealing with fake friends. Now, I saw this video before, and I saw a little snippet of it, but I wanted to react to it because there are some things that I want to break down, especially when it comes to dealing with friends and family and things like that, that you have to be able to assess and be aware of when it comes to doing stuff like this. So without further ado, hey, make sure y'all go check out Cyberstar, man. It's one of my best friends, bro. A brother from another mother, man. Make sure y'all go and check him out. He's an up-and-coming small streamer right now, but we're going to blow up, man. Without further ado, let's get right into the video, man.
So I wanted to go ahead and also do a video on fake friends. I feel like, it's a lot of people that have a tough time out there navigating, and even myself, like more as I get older and there's more things that I see, I feel as if this video is just very warranted. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to touch on a couple things about fake friends, not just the fact of having fake friends, but like how to navigate it properly. So, like, a lot of us have friends simply to fill a void, or to seem popular, or just to say or get our follower count up, or we try to like keep people around to feel like we're loved or something. But a lot of the time, it's so much better to just have 2, 3, 12, 5. It doesn't matter. It depends on the person and your social skills and everything like that. But it genuinely doesn't matter. Like, if it's a small number, because it's better to have a small number of real people than a large number of fake people.
I 100% agree. Like you said in the beginning, there's a lot of people that do things for external validation. And that's not one thing that I preach to you here. You should always find worth in yourself before you ask other people how to validate yourself. Right. And that comes with being alone with yourself and understanding the grind and understanding who you are as a person and what you're working towards. Right. And that helps you identify your own value within yourself. Right. The relationships that you've built, the codes that you stand on, things of that nature. Right. But as he's speaking, you can already tell, like, yeah, this is real shit, bro. Like, you don't want to deal with people who are yes men. That's a big thing. You don't want to deal with people who are yes men because, like, they'll never be able to, if you can't take that open constructive criticism that helps to elevate you, then you'll always be just doing something that may be to the hindrance of your future or what you're doing in life. So, like, keep a small group of people, especially people who are like-minded and are pushing towards the same objective, right? Which is, for me, the people that I want around me are people who are constantly evolving and being better versions of themselves than they were yesterday. Because if you guys are just sitting around, like, I know back in my day, we used to just sit around and smoke weed and play video games all day. That's not what you want to do. You want to be able to elevate and leave a legacy behind, because if all your legacy is just smoking weed and playing video games, nobody will really ever know about you. Granted, there are people who play video games who make a legacy out of that shit, but you know what I'm saying? Unless you're really great in that regard, then you're not going to be talked about. It's like, what are you doing to elevate yourself and making sure you're leaving a legacy behind? And if your friends are not about that same mission, then they're just there to either carry, you're going to carry them or they're going to carry you, right? And you're just either you're the baggage or they are. And that's not how relationships and friends with friends are supposed to be.
And I feel as if, like, we really keep friends and things simply just to fill a void, like to say we have a lot of numbers in our phone, you know what I'm saying? Or to say we have a lot of followers, to say we have, like, just to say it, just to say that we have this, but
to seem like to actually seem like you have some sense of worth based on how many people you have around you. That doesn't make sense to me, because it's like, what type of quality people do you have around you? Quantity never matters, because out of that, let's say you have 100 friends, at least 3/4 of them are not really your friends. They're not really looking out for you. I guarantee it. even probably more than 75. Like I say 3/4, more than 75%. I would say a solid 10% of those people are actually your real friends. The other people are just around because like they want to be around. They got their own lives to live, but they're in your company and understand your energy, and they're gonna leech off of that, right?
When it comes down to it, they're not really there for you. You know, they're really not. Like when the going gets tough, you need to borrow $100 here and there, or even just like you're in a hospital. Who really comes to see you? You know what I'm saying? Or something happens and you check the internet one day and everybody's having fun without you. You're never invited to things. You know what I'm saying? You're just left.
I'm gonna speak on this real quick. I'm sorry I'm pausing this, but this is what it's for, right? That's one emphasis that I've heard somebody tell is like stop texting people and see who really checks in on you, right? Just stop texting people. See really who has you on their mind, right? Who has you on their mind? Who wants to see what you're really doing and aspiring to be? Those are the people that you want to keep around you and keep you supported, right? Because a lot of people just want to be in the mix. They ain't got no motion, but they want to be in the mix. They just want to be seen and just want to be heard. That's all they care for. They care for the external validation. They care for the followers. They care for the, you know what I'm saying, all that shit because, like, that's all they know, right? Because social media has conditioned them to believe that that's the value that they need in the world. Whereas for me, it's like the value that I get out of myself is the fact that I'm leaving a legacy behind that not only my present family can talk about, I'm talking about the family that I'm probably going to, like, create with my wife and my children, and then the legacy that I leave behind for my children's children and my grandchildren's children. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I get my value from, the decisions that I make today, right? That will better my future, not only mine, but my immediate families and then my families in the future. And if your friends aren't thinking on that long-term level, you need to, you know what I'm saying? Because if they're not texting you with a game plan on what we tapping into business, we doing this and doing that, like, what are y'all really talking about? Cool, it's cool to have small talk conversation and mentally check on each other. That's cool. But are we progressing? Like, for what purpose are you my friend? Like, am I gaining something out of this? And sometimes it's not about gaining. I'm not going to say that. But what are we building towards? What are we doing here? It doesn't make sense for us to just be friends and us not trying to constantly elevate each other. Because that's not a friend if they're not trying to build you up. That, to me.
Left out all the time. Those people aren't really your friends, you know? They might ask you for things and, you know, like, I don't feel like you should overextend yourself, you know? And that's something else I would like to discuss too, is overextending yourself or being too real to your fake friends. You know what I mean? And like, when I say overextend yourself, I mean like, if you check the internet one day, right? And one of your friends posts something really sad, and you're like, yo, are you okay? You hit him up, you know, you DM him real quick, you tweet him, whatever the case may be, and you follow through like a real one does, you know what I'm saying? But like, they'll always appreciate it. You know, anybody will appreciate somebody checking on them, somebody to talk to. 9 times out of 10, they'll take it. I guarantee anything you give, people will take. They'll always keep their hand out. They always will keep their hand out. So like,
and that's like I said before, people will leech off the energy that you give them, right? And that's why you have to only allow a certain amount of access to your space, because if you're always, you know what I'm saying, I can understand you being a good friend and you're looking out for your friends, but if you're giving out energy, right, and all of your energy is given out to your friends, you're not going to have nothing for yourself. And then you're going to feel drained, and then you're going to feel less value because you don't feel like that energy is being, energy is being reciprocated. Right? The law of reciprocity states that you give and receive equally, right? You have to be able to have that beautiful harmonic, God damn it. You have to be able to give that harmonic exchange, right? Because there's nothing better in this world than when you give and then you receive in the same energy, right? It feels like it's a constant, beautiful flow of energy being experienced. And that's what you want out of your friendships. You don't want just, you know, you keep checking on them, you keep checking on them, you keep checking on them. And it's been 3 months, right, of you checking on them, and they ain't asked you once how you doing. You gotta pay attention to those things, especially when it comes to the people in your life, even your family. Like, you gotta see who's checking in on you.
Watch for the signs, right? Like, if you hit up some people and they'll tell you about their problems because you checked on them. But if you was to make the same post, how many people would hit you up? Look at you. Where you at? Are you okay? What's going on? You want to talk about it? Blah, 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 blah. Like, those are the real signs you got to look for. You know what I'm saying? The ones who, like, notice you haven't been active on the internet in a little bit. Like, hey, bro, you all right? I ain't seen you. You normally do this. Or, like, the ones who notice a change in your behavior. Those are the ones you really have to, like, keep around. You know what I'm saying? Not the ones that you notice a change in their behavior. That just means you're the authentic one. You're the one around that's actually able to do something, able to change like somebody's mood, able to uplift them, or even give them the words that could save their life.
Bingo, right? So in that exchange, you need to be able to, you know what I'm saying, be that person for them, right? That's a big thing. Like it's a lot of times when I got a lot of people calling my phone asking me for stuff like that, and it's sometimes I got a video out there. It's called "The Divine Has Called You." What I like to call human moments. It's when life tells you that this is not about you right now. You need to really help this person, right? And you'll feel it internally, right? It's like a gut feeling. If you don't have gut feelings, you really need to talk to yourself and be honest with yourself, because I know internally when the moment is there, I need to shut up and listen to this person and really be there for this person, because like it's not about me right now. We're here to help each other. We're social creatures at the end of the day, right? Granted, you can still have the things that you stand on, but you need to be willing to, you know what I'm saying, help people. Like you can't just always be selfish, right? Granted, most of the successful people are selfish, right? So don't just give all of your energy, right? But you have to be willing to have those moments with people when they really need a shoulder to lean on or a shoulder to cry on and help them through their experiences. Because life is hard. Life is very hard. If you make it that way. If you don't make the right decisions that'll keep you on the right track. And sometimes life just happens and you can't control it. Be there for those people because you understand that you're a human too, and you'll need somebody unless you just that guy or that woman. You'll need that experience too when you need somebody to go to.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a thing that me and my brother Brando talk about all the time.
Hey, that's me.
We just talk about who heals the healer, right? If you're somebody who outreaches a lot, always extending your hand, always trying to be like, hey, what's going on, man? You good? What's going on? Because I am one of those people, authentically. Like, I really feel like I'm one of those people who care too much.
I feel that. And I don't think there's ever such a good thing as caring too much, right? It's just being able to understand the energy, right? If you're constantly giving, right? At least you know in your heart that you're a natural giver and you're looking out for people. But there's all times where you need to stop allowing access to that energy. People, like, you give them an inch, they'll take the mile. And then they'll take your power from you if you allow that, right? You have to be willing to understand the boundaries that you need to set and the triggers that may be there when people are starting to leech, right? Who heals the healer? If the healer doesn't have enough energy to heal himself, he shouldn't be healing other people in the beginning.
And it gets me. It always comes back and bites me, you know? So me personally, even part of the reason I'm making this video is for myself. You know, like, I'm tired of overextending my hand. I'm tired of trying to like do too much for all these other people, right? And I'm tired of trying to like be there for those who won't be there for you. I can tell you authentically, I've been in the hospital for serious things a good amount of times. And I don't want to say like 20, 30, you know, something crazy. Like, I try to keep my health and everything active, but you end up in some situations. Like, I had pneumonia and I almost died. I ain't had nobody in the emergency room with me. You know, the guy who dropped me off and slid right after he dropped me off type shit. Like, people is really not who they claim to be, or they don't fuck with you how you think they do. You know? So like, you just have to keep that in mind. And I say all that to say this though. One important factor that you do need to memorize and memorialize is like, it's okay to keep acquaintances, right? It's okay to keep people that aren't the realest of friends to you. Like, you don't have to slice everybody off and then be like, oh, no. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody has the capacity to be there for you like that, because you don't know what they got going on.
You can't expect yourself out of anybody else. Everybody's their own individual, and you need to stand on the fact that if you're one of those givers, not everybody else is going to be like that. But if you surround yourself with people who are the same way, like I said, there's going to be this harmonic balance that continually flows in energy. And that's the type of stuff that you're looking for, right? I don't know. I personally can't agree with what he just said, which was keeping acquaintances. I don't want anybody around me that I have to have as an acquaintance, right? I only want people around me that are going to motivate me, inspire me, and continue to push me to keep going. That's it, right? We constantly flowing in good energy, positivity. And I know energy changes, seasons change, people, feelings happen, and people get upset, and people are going through things. That's okay. We're human. But if that's my friend, I'm going to be there for them, right? If that is my friend, big definition, my friend, right? Because my definition of friend is somebody that I hold dear to my heart. I appreciate their values and opinions to the point where I will also reach out and look for them because I know how their mind works and I know what type of things they want to exchange with me, right? That is a true definition of a friend because we're both elevating and growing together in this journey of life. Acquaintances is bygones be bygones. You know what I'm saying? Like if you come into my life, you can also leave my life the same way, right? I don't want an acquaintance. I want something that holds value in my life, not just some bullshit.
It's okay to people, but just keep them at a distance. Don't let them in. Don't allow them your heart. Don't allow them your essence. Don't allow them Don't allow them your gifts. Because everybody's gifts are different, but don't allow them to be able to take from your garden.
And I say this too. You always can learn something from somebody else, right? You can always, whether it's something good that somebody's doing that you can implement into your own life or something bad that you can learn from their mistakes and learn to avoid. You can always learn something. So always be open-minded to the person that's coming into your life and why they're there. Always ask yourself, why is this person placed in my life? Like, what is it that I have to gain out of this person or learn from this person? Right, and that way you can play this game of life in a different way. It's like I said before in my other mental modification video. It's an RPG. Think of it like that. You constantly leveling up, and some of these people are really just side quests. Dead ass. These people are really just side quests. So you need to be willing to understand that this is just a side quest, whereas you have your main quest, and these people are helping you elevate towards your vision, towards your purpose, and this person is just here to help you work on a trigger that you didn't really notice until they brought it out of you. Easy day.
Then you're going to have nothing because everybody will take. You know what I'm saying? Everybody will take, and they'll take happily, and then they'll close the gate when you need something. Mm-hmm. So it's okay to keep acquaintances because you also never know when an acquaintance could blossom into a real friend. You just kind of have to maybe go through that little succession first,
Yeah, I can. Okay, I understand where he's coming from in this regard, right? I can definitely understand where he's coming from now that I've heard what he's talking about. Because sometimes you don't really feel the person at first. And me personally, I'm quick to cut somebody off. Especially when, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really worried about that shit. But, because I'm worried about my vision and my purpose. But, like you said, sometimes you just have to plant the seed and let things grow on their own. Let things marinate in the refrigerator,
End up going through that, episode of, just the test, the danger zone, the gray area to see are they cool enough for me to actually open these doors to or not? Because they're probably doing the same thing to you, and it's not healthy to be completely alone until you feel like somebody's real. You gotta go through it with just like everybody else has to go through it. You gotta go through the vetting process. Everybody has to get vetted,
Facts.
Let everybody in the club.
What'd he say?
Go through the vetting process. Everybody has to get vetted. They don't just let everybody in the club.
Oh, God. Nah. Cooking. You let everybody in the club, somebody gonna snake you. Somebody gonna shoot the club up. You gotta pat everybody down. Check their ID. Make sure they of age. You know what I'm saying? Make sure they're mature. Especially when it comes to your temple, your kingdom, your palace. This is all you got, bruh. This is all you got. So you gotta be willing to make sure that the people that you're allowing into your life are people that are actually doing things to enhance the temple, enhance the kingdom, enhance the palace.
You gotta see what's going on. So I feel like you should also do that. And another piece I want to talk about is how to remove yourself. This is something I personally have had issues with. So I feel like this video is just in order to work on it. So a great way to remove yourself is just I don't want to say just disappear because that's a major issue that I personally have. Me,
I think disappearing is, you know what I'm saying, like that's not the appropriate way of doing things. Me personally, ghosting people without telling them why I'm ghosting them is kind of, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of fraudulent in my eyes, right? I'm deaf before dishonor. I'm gonna tell you exactly why we're done, right? I'm gonna tell you exactly why we're done, and it's not I'm not gonna come at you like it's an attack. I'm gonna be like, hey, look, I don't think this is gonna work out, da 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 da, because this is how I feel, and you've crossed this boundary a couple times, and I don't feel like you appreciated me as a person. Granted, whether or not if we can effectively communicate and work towards that, and then we both change the relationship, because it takes two to make something work out, right? If things don't change, or if I'm already at my limit with this person, we cut it. Like we still be blessed, have a great life, but I hope you continue on in your journey without me, and I hope to see you grow on your own journey in your own world. It's no bad blood, but the dynamic that we have just doesn't work out.
if something goes wrong, I'm sliding. I'm moving to the next state. Take me a month. I'm out. I'm packing up my stuff and I'm going.
Next state is crazy.
I also do feel like genuinely, it's kind of ruined a lot of my relationships also because I'm so used to just leaving. You know, it's like a blessing and a curse. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so used to just disappearing. I'm so used to just not wanting to be a part of it no more, so I don't. But I also feel like if I would have stayed sometimes, or if I would have, tried to be better, it would have been some more friends I had, or more situations I could have evolved into, But I never gave it the chance. So, like, some of the best ways to remove yourself really is just to, like, I don't want to say dip out, but like drip out, like water. Don't just flood. Don't just flood the gutter. You know what I'm saying? Ease your way out. See how everything is going. I'm more of an observant person, so just observe, And you don't always have to speak how you feel with your whole chest. You don't always gotta be like, hey, that was there, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that. I feel like a real authentic way is just to see how people move and move accordingly. That doesn't require no grand exit. You don't got to set off fireworks when you leave the room and be like, oh, you fake, blah, 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 calling people out. You don't got to do all that. That's how you feel. Say less,
And keep that shit motherfucking pushing, man. Just keep that shit pushing, bro. Because, like, y'all both got your own lives to live. Life is short. You can't be sitting around resenting the way a person acts because you have no control of the way that person operates. That person got their own motherfucking Windows operating system, whether it's Windows 10, Windows 11. Some people may be on Windows 12 and 13 at this point. You know what I'm saying? But you can't change their operating system unless they want to change for themselves. So you just need to be focused on yourself. And if you feel as though somebody's trying to add a virus to your operating system, you need to get the fuck on. Facts.
Responding a little bit less, and then just slowly work your way out of situations that you just genuinely don't have to be a part of. You know what I'm saying? And, like, just make sure that no matter what happens, you have your best interests at heart, and the only people that are closest to you also have your best interests at heart. But it has to be mutual. It has to be people that not only have your best interests at heart, but you also have their best interests at heart, or are selfish. It's not a real friend, and you're not being a real friend.
Am I cooking or am I cooking?
You need to be able to dictate that, right? And for those of you who,
the answer is I'm cooking. Stirring that motherfucking pot. Throwing that salt in that nut. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking cooking.
Just don't have friends like that, or like don't know how to survive alone, or like don't know how to be by themselves. Like,
major key. If I get in your presence and you don't know how to be quiet, that tells me that you're afraid of thinking, and that, for me personally, is a red flag. And when I'm not making videos and stuff like that, if I'm not talking amongst my friends, I'm quiet, bro. I'm plotting, I'm planning, I'm in my head, and I'm doing things that are going to elevate me and put me in better positions, because the grind don't stop, right? I'm constantly working on that elevation, and I'm committed to that, right? That's where everybody's mindset needs to be. Not worried about what Kylie and Kendall Jenner got going on. Not wondering what your high school people doing and what they got going on. You need to be worried about where you want to be in 5 to 10 years. That's crazy to me. But also enjoy your time. Hey, there's something going on. Why would I want to go out today? Have I stacked enough bread? Can I treat myself a little bit? I can't do that, right? Person invited me out. I ain't got the funds right now. I can't do that. Make that decision for yourself. You got to be able to make the decision, because that decision can help or hinder your future, right? And if you got friends around you that's just hindering your future and you choose to keep them in, I don't see you succeeding well in life.
You just have to make yourself uncomfortable. You know, you have to get used to being uncomfortable. You have to get used to being in situations that you're not used to. You have to get used to being in situations that you're not fit for, or like you don't feel you're fit for. And like, you got to get used to just, if something goes wrong, you're the one to fix it. There's nobody to call. There's nobody to text. No tweet that'll save your life. There's no Instagram post.
It's just you. It's just you. Now, if you got a solid foundation with God and you want to pray to God before you go out there and do what you need to do, so be it. But you still got to step out and go do what you need to do. You can't just pray and pray and pray and hope that God just delivers. You got to deliver for yourself. And God will be right there at the end of the door and be like, thank you. Well, not thank you, but you're welcome. Because I for the thing that you're working towards, I'm blocking the other things that you cannot see that are trying to hinder you. That's what God do, man. He makes sure you locked in and focus on what you need to be focused on by blocking every other distraction that's trying to hinder you from your goal and your objective. Trust God, man. He working.
Post that, you know what I'm saying? No sympathy. Like, you got to be able to sit with yourself, by yourself, and really sit down and grasp what you have going on.
Have that honest conversation with yourself. That's one key part of being alone. Is what are you doing when you're by yourself? Are you just simply distracting yourself with TikTok, Instagram, or are you actually building towards something? Are you plotting and planning and putting yourself in a position that you really need to be in?
And if it feels proper, you know, you have to get used to your own thoughts. You have to get used to just being by yourself and with yourself, and you have to get used to, like, you. It's the best way I could say it. You got to get used to who you are. You got to get used to being alone. No relationship, no friendships, no nothing like that. If you're not used to being you, being by yourself, and you can't stand your own thoughts, how are other people going to?
It's all here.
How is somebody else going to want to be around you if you don't even want to be around yourself by yourself? Like, it's a lot of self-work that also has to be done, you know? And it's a lot of just authenticity of you. Just the best way to find friends, the best way to be a good friend, and the best way to evolve as a person and as a friend is just be yourself and
authentically
care about yourself enough to understand what you're worth, and only put the people around you who you also feel are worth. And from there you evolve. From there you'll stop filling voids. You know, you'll learn how to avoid situations that don't fit you better. You'll learn how to keep acquaintances that can evolve or that can stay acquaintances. You know, it's a network. It could work in your favor. It could not. It just depends on how you navigate it. You know, it's learning how to remove yourself from all those situations like we talked about, and it's just learning how to be alone up until you find what's authentic and meant for you, you know? And I wish everybody the best of luck on their journeys. And I believe in each and every single one of you to get to where you're trying to go and find that love that a lot of us are just so desperately seeking, you know? It's hard. It's not a today or tomorrow thing. But I have full faith in you to figure out what you need to figure out. For sure.
Damn, I'm on the motherfucking floor. God, look at me, man. Hey, man. W motherfucking video by Cyberstar, man. Make sure y'all go show him some love. Go show that man some love. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's your boy McLavishh. Man, go and figure yourself out. Have that W conversation with yourself. Have that honest conversation with yourself, because there's nobody out here that's going to save you for real. Y'all make sure y'all lock in with me, man. Make sure you tap in on the Instagram, tap in on the TikTok, tap in on the YouTube. Oh, well, you're already on YouTube. The Twitch, because that's when I'm live Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. We always doing something, man. And sometimes I might be live on Thursday or Sunday just for a surprise stream, because I love y'all so much, man. So lock in with yourself. Start building the structure around your life where you really want it to be, and then stand on that structure and those values that you create for yourself. And your friends will naturally revolve around that structure or within that structure, because you'll be able to vet and choose people that are only constantly going to elevate you and make a better relationship for you and them. Right? It's your boy McLavishh. Peace, prosperity, and power, mind, body, and soul. Death before dishonor. Speaking the truth, keeping the faith, and holding that motherfucker the fuck.